Welcome back, everyone, to the Late Night Review. And tonight I'm going to be talking about another movie. Usually I talk about movies that I have nostalgia for. Sometimes I'll do some new movies that I don't have nostalgia for because I didn't grow up watching them. But this one, I was very young when I watched it for the first time, and I really like it. I really like it a lot. And it's a movie with Michael Dudikoff. It's called Avenging Force. And sometimes I like this movie even better than American Ninja. Sometimes I like it better than all the American Ninjas. It depends on the mood I'm in. All these movies, including this one, the American Ninja series, and then this movie, Avenging Force, they all have unrealistic fight scenes in them. They have scenes that aren't that realistic. But some of the scenes are kind of realistic, and some of the fight scenes, certain parts of them could be realistic. This Avenging Force movie is actually a bit more grounded than any of the American Ninja movies. And then there's no magic, there's no invisibility or any of that sort of thing. And oh, by the way, please like and subscribe and share this video and let other people know about this type of content. Hit the thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. I'm working alone. I've always worked alone. I make all these videos myself. I do all the editing. I pick the music, the free photos. I do editing from start to finish. These videos are all mine, made by me. Every aspect of them. I do the intros, the outros. So it's all me. So I really appreciate it if you would subscribe. It's hard work. I think there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are probably working harder than me, if they're doing it themselves, if they're working alone like I am. But it is hard work, and I'm definitely putting in the time and the effort. So I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe and share these videos with other people. But back to the movie. This movie, sometimes I like it better than any of the American Ninja movies. And I think it's a really good movie if you like action movies, with drama mixed in, with some disturbing aspects mixed in. This movie is really good, and it has disturbing parts in it more than the American Ninja movies. There's more dramatic stuff going on in here with some of the characters. Some of the stuff that bad guys do is worse than most of the American Ninja films. This film is an enjoyable film on one hand, but it's also disturbing. The American Ninja movies, some of them, they have some disturbing parts in them, but not that much. Usually they're fun, they're entertaining to me. I really like the American Ninja films. Part 2 probably is the best of the American Ninja films, but it depends on my mood. And sometimes I like a couple of those better than I like this one, Avenging Force. But often I do like Avenging Force either just as much as those, if not more, because it's a bit more grounded. All these movies have unrealistic fight scenes, not very realistic, but they're fun. But I would say Avenging Force is a bit more grounded, and it's got some pretty disturbing themes in it, and it's got some characters in here that are probably more disturbing than the characters and villains in the American Ninja films, except for a couple. I think American Ninja 4, the main villain in there, did disturbing things that were not only brutal but sick too. So you have that, but this is probably the most disturbing out of all the films, the American Ninja films, and then this one, Avenging Force. But I would suggest skip American Ninja 5. It should have never been made, in my opinion. It should have never been made. I think it kind of hurt the franchise. And it's too bad, too, because David Bradley was in there and some good actors in there with him. And that was too bad. But the first 4 were awesome. Avenging Force is right up there with them, if not better. You might even like Avenging Force better. And I think there's a couple scenes in here that will probably get to you, that are probably pretty disturbing, but it gives the characters, the good guys, all the more reason to fight all the more reason to seek justice, especially Michael Dudikoff. And Steve James is in here too. And because, usually all my videos are spoiler reviews. Usually I talk about the endings in most of them anyway, because I'm talking about movies that have been out for decades, movies that I have a lot of nostalgia for. But I don't think I'll give it away too much in this with this movie, because this movie's not as well known as the American Ninja movies, but I think it's just as good, if not better. And it's one of my favorites. It's still one of my favorite 80s movies, and I really like it. I think it was 80s. I'm sure it was like 88, something like that, 87 around. I don't think it was 1990. I'm sure it was still in the 80s. But it's been one of my favorites. And Michael Dudikoff, Steve James do a really good job. It's not a slow pace. It's a good pace. Maybe not extremely fast, but it's a good pace. I think just as fast as any of the American Ninja movies, except for Part 2. Part 2 had one of the faster paces, but this is close. And like I said, you might even like this better if you like Michael Dudikoff, Steve James, and you want a movie that's a bit more realistic when it comes to real life situations and then the fight scenes. I think this is a little more realistic in terms of those aspects than the American Ninja movies, any of the American Ninja movies. And it's a movie that I highly recommend. I think it has good action, has a pretty good story, and like I said, it's a fast pace. I think it delivers the goods. I think if you're into 80s action, if you're into Michael Dudikoff and Steve James and these types of movies, I think you'll like it. If you're not into that, you might not like it, but it's well done. And I think for an action movie, the acting is good. I think it's a really good action film. It's solid. The Avenging Force with Michael Dudikoff, Steve James, and there's other actors in here that if you watched 80s movies and other movies around the same time, you've probably seen them in those films. The guy that plays the main villain in here, I saw him in Delta Force 2, Death Wish 4. I saw him in a couple other movies as well. I think a couple horror movies back in a long time ago. And then another guy he was in Delta Force 1. And of course, Steve James, obviously, he was in Delta Force and the American Ninja 1, 2, and 3, and Hero in the Terror. So this is a good movie, Avenging Force with Michael Dudikoff, Steve James. I enjoyed it. It's pretty exciting. I highly recommend it. And I think you'll like it, especially if you like the other films that I mentioned, particularly the American Ninja franchise. So this has been the Late Night Review. I highly recommend Avenging Force, and check it out. I think you'll like it. And good night, everybody.